guys, what's up and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your favorite Nigerian girl in the Philippines. Yes, and I am back again like I never left. Guys, on my channel I talk about Philippines, I talk about studying in the Philippines, and I also do vlogs, Philippines vlogs, studying in the Philippines vlog, everything. I do everything, and I also always feature my Filipino boyfriend on my YouTube channel. So guys, on today's episode I am going to be talking about 10 things you need to know before coming to the Philippines to school or to study. So if you are interested in these two things I've mentioned, make sure you watch till the end of the video. So without talking too much, without further ado, let's jump right into the video. The number one thing you need to know before coming to the Philippines is the admission process in the Philippines is not direct. This is for people who want to come to the Philippines to study. So if you want to study in the Philippines, you need someone who is here, who is studying or living in the Philippines to help you with your admission process. Or if you are from a country that is visa free to the Philippines, you can come to the Philippines directly to do your admission process. It's going to cost you some money because you have to pay, book a flight to come to the Philippines, accommodation, everything. But if you don't mind doing that, then good for you. But if you are someone who do not have the luxury of coming to the Philippines, you can look for someone who is studying here or living here to help you with your admission process. And the person who is helping you with your admission process will be the one to guide you on how to apply for your visa and everything. The number two thing you need to know before coming to the Philippines is that do not be scammed. Do not pay your tuition to any agent. Before you can pay your tuition, you need to be in the Philippines physically. Yeah, because it is only when you're in the Philippines that you will know the tuition you are supposed to pay. So don't let anybody tell you that, oh, you have to send your tuition, I will be the one to pay for you. Nah, do not do that. You have to be in the Philippines yourself. That is after you have gotten admission and you have been given visa to come to the Philippines. Then your tuition is the last step for you. You will do that yourself. I paid my tuition here myself when I came to the Philippines. The number three thing you need to know before coming to the Philippines, this is still regarding students. If you are here and you are interested about work, just be patient. It's coming to your turn. So as I was saying, the number three thing you need to know before coming to the Philippines is that there are no hostels for students. Unlike Nigerian universities, they are school hostel within the school premises, but in the Philippines, no. Calm down, I'm coming to that. For ordinary students, you need to rent an hostel outside the school premises. There are a lot of hostels surrounding schools in the Philippines that you can rent monthly so that you can have easy access to your school. In fact, some schools build buildings outside the school premise that you can as well rent also, but they are owned by the school but not within the school premises. Now to my number four thing you need to know before coming to the Philippines. If you are a basketballer, so these are the people I refer to as extraordinary students. If you want to study in the Philippines and you can play basketball, Philippines is the right place for you to be in. Schools in the Philippines prioritize basketballers. So if you play basketball for your school, you are going to be given an hostel, free hostel. You're going to be given allowance, and you can even be on scholarship for your tuition or have scholarship. Basketballers in the Philippines are very well taken care of. Yeah. So if you can play basketball and you are looking for a perfect place for you to study and also play basketball at the same time, definitely you should come to the Philippines. My number five thing you need to know before coming to the Philippines is that no scholarship for foreign students. This is also for students. If you want to work in the Philippines, just calm down a little bit. It's coming to your turn. I am trying to be factual in my video because I do not want anybody to deceive you. I want you to know the country you are coming into before you take a step to come into this country. So Philippines universities do not give foreign students scholarships. They only provide scholarships for their nationals. So if you're coming to study in the Philippines, you would need to have a sponsor. Yeah, somebody who is going to be paying your tuition. Number 6 thing you need to know when coming to the Philippines is that students cannot work in the Philippines. So if you are on student visa, you cannot work in the Philippines because on your visa it states that you are here to study. But after you graduate, you can work in the Philippines. But if you are a student and you are looking for a way to earn a living, if you have digital skills like blogging, vlogging, freelancing, you can make a living. So make use of your opportunity. My number 7 thing you need to know before coming to the Philippines. I know people who want to work in the Philippines are dying to hear this. The number 7 thing is that foreigners can work in the Philippines. You can work in the Philippines if you are a foreigner. Especially if you're bilingual, you have a higher chance of getting a job in the Philippines. I have a lot of friends who are bilinguals, who speak French, Portuguese. If you're bilingual, you stand a higher chance of getting a job in the Philippines. You're going to come into the country with a tourist visa. The company you're working for would be the one to convert your tourist visa to a work visa for you. Number 8 thing to know before coming to the Philippines is that this is also for students. You renew your student visa yearly. So the student visa is only valid for 1 year. Before it expires, you have to renew another one. Failure to renew your student visa will incur consequences like you paying a fine. Yeah, so when you come to the Philippines to study, make sure you prioritize your student visa. Do not let it expire before you renew, because you may end up paying for a huge amount of money than you bargained for. The number 9 thing you need to know before coming to the Philippines is that everything in the Philippines is fine. Yeah, if you fail to renew your student visa, you are going to get a fine. If you fail to do this, you're going to pay a fine. If you fail to do that, you're going to pay a fine. Everything is a fine. So make sure when you're coming here to study or you're coming here to work, make sure you submit all your necessary documents at the exact time you have to do it. Make sure you have a good standing in the Philippines. And the last but not the least thing you need to know before coming to the Philippines to study or work is that I am your number 1 legit plug to studying and working in the Philippines. So if you wish to study and work in the Philippines, hit me up. I'll be glad to help you. So I have come to the end of this video. I hope you learned a thing or two. If you want me to make more videos about Philippines, studying the Philippines, working in the Philippines, let me know in the comment section below and I'll be so glad to reply you. I will see you in my next video, and until then, peace out.